barometer is also coming up during the next half hour. 508-996-0500. Did you hear about the, first of all, do you go to Hawthorne Medical Center? Yeah, maybe a primary care physician or a specialist. You know, they've got all those buildings over there. They even have a surgery center, you know, pretty nice complex. I think we can be reasonable and debate about the fact that they do have a Dunkin' Donuts in a health clinic, but that's for another time. The parent company of Hawthorne is known as Stewart Healthcare. I am a Hawthorne person, and therefore I'm a Stewart Healthcare person. And I was reading in the Boston Globe the other day that Stewart is in such grave financial distress. It may be unable to keep on operating some of the health centers. This is according to public records and people with knowledge of the situation. How come the patients are always the last to know? It's called, I'm just going to read it from the Globe. The fast-moving crisis has left regulators racing to prevent massive layoffs and hospital closures that could erode access to care. So I know that under the umbrella of Stewart Healthcare is also St. Anne's Hospital in Fall River. I've never gone there before. I hear it's a pretty nice facility. But it's very distressing to hear that, I guess I look at it from the standpoint, you go into Hawthorne, and it seems like half the people just sit there and their insurance is covering everything. The other half are paying some type of copay. They've got a billing department that bills you. So I think from an outsider looking in perspective, everything seems to be going okay. But little do we know. But I think this goes back to something that I have stated and you have stated. Healthcare is just too outrageously expensive right now. Of course, it begs the question, what are you going to do about it? And people just kind of raise their hand. I don't know what to do about it. I need to have health care. Yeah, you need care when you need care. I think these are issues, whether you talk about it at the dinner table or wait until after dinner to bring it up. But I think that we all need to do a lot of reevaluating about what we think are the necessary evils in life and things that aren't necessarily evil at all. Anyway, so that story's out there for you. Here's another one. According to the International Monetary Fund, artificial intelligence to hit almost 40% of jobs worldwide and worsen overall inequality. The International Monetary Fund warned that nearly 40% of jobs across the globe could be affected by the rise of artificial intelligence. You see, people have already been displaced because of AI, and they don't even realize it, because we have a lot of people that were born in the 1990s that are in today's workforce. If you were born in 1990, you're 34 years old. You grew up with computers. And you might not think of a computer as artificial intelligence, but what the heck do you think it is? As you think in your life right now, I'm sure the computer has been an excellent aid to you. But where have you seen that the computer has replaced somebody? 508-996-0500. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Brian. How are you?
Brian is. How are you?
I'm okay. I was just listening to your conversation about Hawthorne Medical. I, too, am a patient of Hawthorne Medical, and they're probably since they opened up. But, they've only... The whole being in the red is not anything new right now, because already last year, I don't know if it was the winter of 2023 or the summer of 2023, there were already a lot of rumors going around that Hawthorne was in the red pretty bad, and that they had put a hiring freeze because they couldn't afford to hire new employees, okay? But, to be honest with you, I don't even know how they're in the red. First of all, every time you go there, that place is loaded to the gill.
What do you mean by that?
You go to try to get a place to park. You can't even park anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter. You have to wait, even just to go see a doctor. You have to wait sometimes 2 weeks. Number one, you got to wait 2 weeks for an appointment. Number two, I don't know how many times you call there, but I've talked to a lot of people that are very frustrated. Every time they try calling the main number, to get connected to whatever doctor or department, the phone just rings and rings and rings. And it's always the excuse you keep hearing that they're having phone problems. I don't think it's the phone problems, because what happens is last year, the woman that was there for a long, long time, the CEO, she retired. Now, I don't want to say if it was in June of, it wasn't in June of 2023. It was in June of 2022. To be honest with you, I knew her very well. We were friends when we were kids, and she ran that place as smooth as could be, and there was really never an issue. Somebody new came in, took over her position, and they decided that they were going to have all the incoming calls now go to a call center, which originally they didn't have. And that, as of right now, that's what's going on. So it kind of becomes an issue that whatever the switchboard operator can't handle automatically goes to a call center. And that's another joke. Because now...
So you mean to tell me there's only one switchboard operator at that place?
Well, there used to be at one time, to be honest with you. There was a woman who sat there in the front when you walked in. I don't know, how far back that goes. But, that did somehow change. And you're right, they did have a couple of extra switchboard operators going on inside of Hawthorne. Mm-hmm. But after she retired, because she was already 65, and like I said, I think she's basically been there almost since day one. The new person that came in, for whatever reason, Stewart decided now they were going to create a call center to have the calls first come in and then routed to whatever departments. But, the other issue, again, I don't know about your doctor, but I know my primary care doctor, which I've noticed with some other specialty doctors. Maybe if they worked 4 days a week, I understand maybe they need a day off. If they worked 4 days a week instead of 2.5 days of the week to see patients, that they would be making more money. But, COVID created the whole Zoom medical thing, where I think a lot of doctors just got so, like the teachers, they just got so lax that, not really having to physically see patients, that now they've cut back on the days that they work. So,
yeah, I think a lot of that is true. The other thing I'm going to throw in, and thank you very much for your call. The other thing I want to add to it is I look and you look at the fact that the parking lot is full. And as I said before, half the people have a copay, the other half, their insurance is covering it. But I don't know how much insurance really is covering of that bill if the company's not getting, the 100% of what they're looking for. I just don't know. But the phone problem that you're talking about, Woman Friend always talks about, something is different about that phone system over there. So I hear where you're coming from with that. Thank you for your call. 508-996-0500. I'm sorry, Jim. I know you're there. Time to go over to Studio 6 and 7/8. Jim Phillips. Town Square Sunday.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Phillips, and here's what's happening this week on Town Square Sunday. The opioid crisis is still with us. In Massachusetts, the death toll continues to pretty much hold steady in 2023 compared to 2022. We'll check in with Carl Alves of PACA to see where New Bedford stands. The need for more affordable housing is another ongoing crisis in New Bedford. Josh Amaral, New Bedford's Director of Housing and Community Development, will give us an update on what's happening in the city. I'm Jim Phillips. Join me for Town Square Sunday, Sunday morning at 6 and 11 on 1420 WBSM and 99.5 FM.
Thank you very much, Jim. Let's see, the Bitcoin Business Barometer, where we measure the universal crypto marketplace. Whew, boy, oh boy. Sometimes these numbers, it pains me to tell you some of the things that are going on. Bitcoin down more than $1,500, almost $1,600 from last Saturday at this time, coming in this morning at $4,606. Ethereum is down 83, coming in at $2,475. Binance Coin is actually up $13 to $312. Solana down $1, 92. XRP at 54 cents, but that's 3 cents less than last Saturday at this time. Cardano was down 4 cents from last Saturday at this time, coming in at 51 cents. Avalanche is down $4, coming in at $32. That's your Bitcoin Business Barometer for today, January 20th, 2024. I thought I had taken all of the 23s out, but not on my template for the Bitcoin Biz Barometer. Bitcoin Biz Barometer, every week I get my numbers from CoinMarketCap.com because, quite frankly, they do the best at getting that information out to me. All right, let's hear from you at 508-996-0500. Thank you. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
The reason I'm calling about Hawthorne Medical.
Yes.
I worked for over 40 years in one of the Boston hospitals. I did insurance collections for all the major insurance companies. And all the insurance companies that pay claims, they don't pay 100% of whatever you bill. They all have contracts with different providers. And so you don't get 100% reimbursement. And sometimes you get denials and it's a write-off. But on the other hand, I wanted to mention the place I worked in Boston for many years. They crying that they have no money and that they're having financial trouble. But yet they keep hiring all these executives like CFOs and some of them and vice presidents and so forth. And some of them are making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. So if you're having financial problems, why do you keep hiring all these people that are in higher positions and pay them big money if you're having financial problems?
I think that makes perfectly good sense. I don't know. It seems to be that way with a lot of me. I don't know Stewart Health. I know Hawthorne. Hawthorne seems to have a lot of people, but Stewart Health, they're a big umbrella. They have facilities all across the United States. I would tend to think that they are top heavy with personnel.
Well, the whole thing of it is, and this is, and when they do have layoffs, because the company I worked, they outsourced my department, and all the long-term employees, we all got laid off after. I was there 42 years, and and then they cry in the blues. They have no money, and yet they just hired a VP for $350,000 a year. So they're hiring all these people. And they're making big money. And then something to add to that also is that the person that was the president of where I worked, they retired, but then they still stayed on the board of directors, and they're getting a stipend for being on the board of directors. So these companies that are saying that they're having financial problems, all the top-heavy bigwigs are getting big money, and they're milking the companies dry, and that's what the problem is.
Gotcha. Thanks for the call.
All right, have a good day.
You too. 508-996-0500. Hello.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
Oh, you made me laugh so hard last week when you talked to that guy that day about the toilet. Oh, my God. I was in stitches.
That was fun.
Oh, you were funny.
Thank you.
Anyway, getting back to this Stewart Health, I never went to Hawthorne Medical. I go there very rarely. I have one doctor there and a counselor. And the counselor, now that you're making me think, they pushed all the work on one counselor. He's overloaded. And the other one, she works like a workhorse, and you can only get like 10, 15 minutes the most with her. And when I saw her at another facility, it was much better. She was a lot better, but she got paid to run this department, the head of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about money. She moved there. But I don't know what's going to happen next. But I only have 2 doctors there, actually. But I did want to get my carpal tunnel done by Dr. Heisman. She's excellent, and she's there. So I should probably try to hurry on that. But, when they move, you can follow them anyway.
What, the doctors?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where they move to. If they move to Connecticut, I don't think I'm following.
Right. But I heard that, Macavici left SouthCoast and went to Hawthorne. And he's real good. He's a back surgeon. But anyway, I'm with SouthCoast from day one, and my doctors are all there. And I love SouthCoast because it's not like that thing with the phone. It's not like a zoo. It's very, very clean. It's where you used to watch the soap opera. Remember?
Yeah. Thanks for telling my story.
Hey, and the bathrooms are real clean. Everything. I noticed Hawthorne's starting to get sloppy.
I try my best not to go there, except for when I really need to, which seems to be a little bit more than I want to. But I haven't gone into any of the restrooms since COVID.
Well, getting back into it, I just keep washing my hands, and God, it's been good. I don't get sick. But anyway, I believe in that hand washing.
Oh, I believe in hand washing too.
Stay away when someone is coughing. Just go the other way.
Well, I'm coughing right now. I'm getting over it again.
You had it again?
Yeah. Okay. Do I sound normal to you today?
Well, I don't know because I'm just kind of getting up, and I can't tell right now. But listen,
I can.
My son, I think my son got it. I'm not sure because he was sick, and he said he was having a tough time. Now, did you get the vaccination?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on. So you got it twice. I got it once, long time ago.
Yeah. It's no fun, that's for sure. But
is it the same one with the no taste and you're tired?
No, I didn't. I never had a no taste. The tired part, but I'm tired all the time. I'm either tired or I'm wired. one or the other. Yeah.
I went to church yesterday. It was awesome. It was 10-year anniversary down at New Life SouthCoast, and it was pumping. I loved every minute of it, and it's fabulous. But I was amazed to see this. He put up an article that said in 2014, Time Magazine had a front cover that New Bedford was a pit, and it was a Sodom and Gomorrah pit.
Yep.
I can't believe that. And then he said he's brought New Bedford up, way up, and it's not true. And we were celebrating. It was awesome.
Well,
I didn't know that was on. I didn't know that was on the cover of Time.
Yeah. And I think the picture itself made it to a couple of other places too. Hey, thanks for the call. I do appreciate it.
Hope you feel better.
Thank you. 508-996-0500 to get onto the program today. Woman friend apparently is listening. I was talking earlier about the fact that today is National Butter Crunch Day. She says, yeah, there are other types of butter crunch besides ice cream and donuts. Slabs of chocolate covered butter crunch broken into pieces. I don't know if that means candy or exactly what. Going back to the story that folks have called in about, I saw this in yesterday's Boston Globe. Steward Healthcare, a for-profit health system that serves thousands of patients in eastern Massachusetts, is in such grave financial distress that it may be unable to continue operating some facilities, according to public records and people with knowledge of the situation. Why should you be concerned? Because around here, if you go to Hawthorne Medical or St. Anne's, they are part of Steward Healthcare. A lot of problems around here. Budget, MBTA, looking at a budget gap that could climb up to about $1 billion by 2029. Steward Healthcare thinking, well, we might not have enough money to keep operating, or at least all of our facilities. What the heck is going on around here? 508-996-0500. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I've always been of the opinion that when you mix the healthcare system with human greed, you're going to eventually end up with a situation that they once had in Europe before they turned to national health care. Most of the countries over there do. And one of the reasons is their hospitals were all closing. 70% of the people could not afford health insurance like in France. They had street riots in the 60s. They had one hospital open in Paris. It's a big city. They got one small hospital open, and their healthcare system just collapsed. The government had to step in. It wasn't a case of socialists or communists taking over the country. They had to step in. And I watched an expose on 60 Minutes about these properties in the Hamptons. They used to be owned mostly by CEOs of major companies in this country. Now they're being bought up by executives of healthcare, like United Healthcare and Blue Cross Blue Shield, and pharmaceutical executives. They're buying those properties now because it's just plain old human greed, and they don't care what happens at the bottom. They don't care what happens with the system. Really, they're divorced from it almost. You know, they live in an ivory tower.
Well, I guess they get the best health care, don't they?
I'm not so sure about that, to be honest with you, because when you destroy the entire system, you may not be able to get the best health care, even for the wealthy. You know?
I guess
I agree.
I guess I think what I'm getting at is, and you're probably right, is that they're part of the system. If they're making that much money, they don't have to pay for their health care. They've got it all taken care of for them.
Well, when you got a yacht sitting out there in Long Island Sound and your own private golf course on your property, I don't know, you're living in another world anyway. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm sure you can go to Harvard and get a surgeon to be your own private physician and live on the property, you know?
I don't know that I want to go that far, but I hear what you're saying.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. 508